we'd actually met when I was actually doing the Nutcracker on Lincoln Center.
Really?
Yeah. He came backstage before the show, and of course, like everyone's, like
he loved the Nutcracker.
Yeah, I mean, he loved dance, man. Like he was a dance man. Like,
he was a dancer. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Doug, that actually, funny enough, he actually came backstage with Donald Trump because they were friendly back then.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Pre-presidential. I mean, I'm talking like 1988. Donald
and how
Trump.
old are you? You're like 8?
Yeah, like 8. Yeah. And we met, and that's the thing is that like I would do Uncle Buck or whatever, and then I'd race back to New York to do my ballet stuff.
That's your once a year gig.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, And so, but I remember he looked at me and he was like, I know you from somewhere. I was like, yeah. I said, I also do movies also, kind of thing. And he was like, and then I think he finally found it. He's like, oh, Uncle Buck. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. He goes, yeah, you're funny. I'm like, oh, thanks. And that was about it.
And what did Trump say? Anything?
Gosh, it wasn't memorable. And then after Home Alone came out, he reached out to like me and like my family, kind of just listen. There's no like child actor self-help group or anything like that. You know what I mean? You kind of sometimes you reach out to certain kids if you want to make sure they're all right. Yeah, kind of thing. Like believe you me, I've extended the same kind of before. Like nothing like like too crazy. But he was like, yeah, like do you want to hang out? I know things are weird. Yeah. So come over to my house, that kind of thing. And so so I went with my whole family, and next thing you know, like we were friends. We were like. Seriously, he was like my best friend growing up for like a good fat stretch of my life. Yeah. Like it was legitimate friendship. Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you think what was it? He was emotionally young.
Yeah, he was. Well, it was also he enjoyed like kind of just at least I can speak for myself at least. He enjoyed my youthfulness, kind of thing, you know, yeah. And of course, he was a kid himself. He kind of like he liked being a kid, like with me, like like and my brother, and like But it was.
But yet he was like what, 20 years older?
Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, something like that. But like he never really like I mean you can get all kind of like do all the psychology on that kind of thing. It's like, oh, he never had his childhood.
Right.
All I can speak to really is, like the way he was, and despite whatever the reasoning was, kind of thing. Yeah. But no, he liked being around kids,
and it wasn't odd.
No,
to you,
it was honestly, it never struck me as odd. I never felt uncomfortable or anything like that. I never thought it was weird because it was actually like that was the way that he was. It was like down to his bone marrow kind of thing. So it wasn't.
So you never thought it didn't come off as creepy because you bought it because it was authentic.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy it. It just was. Okay. You know what I mean? He wasn't selling. You know what I mean? Like, it was just that.
I know you do want, there's some part of you that wants to, or me, when you think about what you've heard in that situation, just in general, to make it,
untoward.
Yeah. No. But that was not your experience.
That was not my experience at all, kind of thing. Like, and it was, it was the fact that, like, my mind didn't go there. That was one of the reasons why he liked hanging around a guy like me. Yeah. That kind of thing. Like, it was just like, like, it never felt weird. Right. It was just the way that it was.
Yeah, and it was.
I looked at him for who he was, rather because listen, at that point, like I was pretty famous, I guess, and I'd met plenty of famous people. Like his fame did not like make a thing.
But
like,
but he
so I was not enamored by him. I get it. It was kind of just like, we're right. We can be friends.
But you're up there at the theme park or the house.
Yeah. He had a.
And there was a lot of other kids around.
Sometimes kind of thing. But it's usually like family of staff kind of thing. Like, like kind of just like, they'll have like a dad.
Did he strike you as lonely and sad? And like, did you ever get a read on?
As I got older, there was a little bit of that. Definitely, like, But when I was younger, like, it was kind of just, you're 9-10 years old. You don't really read things in that kind of way.
Not unless it's dramatic.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't sulking, like, I think it was like, if anything, if he was that way, when I hang out with him, like, it was a respite. Yeah. From that kind of loneliness.
Were you in touch with him up until the end?
I hadn't spoken to him in a while because he was like bouncing all over the place. Like, he was, I think in Dubai for a while, like, and then he was doing his, he just didn't want to go back home. He never went back to Santa Barbara again, kind of thing. Like, because it just, I don't know, everything in his life felt tainted, except for like his immediate, because that was what happened, like with that last trial.
Yeah.
Everything was tainted.
Right.
So that's why kind of just trying to start over a little bit, like, and the only thing that really like was important to him was his immediate family, his children and stuff. And
are you friends with them?
Yeah. I'm the godfather, but I'm close with Paris. Yeah. I'm kind of I'm going to warn you now. I'm very protective of her. So
yeah,
just like I'm a very open book when it comes to things. But like with her, it's like no, she is beloved by me, and I'm like I'm I'm
not looking for any dirt.
I know you're not, and I'm just like, I know you're not, and I'm just letting you know like if we want to start going down that road, like it's going to be a dead end, But I mean that in the fact that like I love her so much.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
and she's doing all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's tall and beautiful and smart. Like, yeah, it's great.
Oh, good.